Turn on YouTube captions for a better viewing experience. Today's topic of discussion is going to cover the state of Star Wars Hunters since its global release back in May last year. More so a light-hearted discussion and me being candid on the ongoing issues with the game so far. A lot of other people have expressed these same concerns in the past, and I do recognize that no game is perfect. Well, maybe except for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League being the only exception. Buying the deluxe version to only play the game for 2 hours will be written on my gravestone. I got finessed so bad I couldn't return the game. But the problems with Hunters might not be what you initially think, at least in regards to the gameplay portion. I wholeheartedly have no complaints about the game itself. You know when someone says wholeheartedly that there's not an ounce of cap in that sentence? Either that, or I'm trying to justify me capping this whole time. I actually never bought Suicide Squad. It was gifted to me by my cousin Matthew this entire time. Bet you feel so stupid right about now. I should probably shut up. The new maps added have been nothing short of amazing. The new hunters brought in each season are fresh and innovative. Sure, there are some balancing issues we could still implement. And yes, having to buy mods for each hunter is very annoying, and I wish there was an easier way to acquire chips for them. But none of these problems are life-threatening for the game as of now. And I'm not the only person who thinks this way. I'm sure a lot of you playing the game have had a great time so far. What is a major issue since the global release of this game, however, has more to do so with the internal side of things. Mainly speaking of the publisher Zynga and possibly their development team. I can't pinpoint anyone exactly who's to blame here, but the lack of communication from whoever is in charge of public relations over there hasn't kept us well informed on the state of the game. Or maybe they do give us an announcement, but the message gets out very late than it should usually. Between multiple season delays, minimal social media presence, no update on the status of the PC version release date after being pushed back. This has left players feeling disconnected from the overall community of this game. For example, the new season countdown timer that is displayed on the Battle Pass screen has once again been raised another 30 days, give or take. No reasoning has been given so far as to why the season was extended again. This wouldn't be much of an issue if we were told beforehand. But after completing all the Battle Pass tiers on the last week of challenges, there's not much else to do besides grind your hunter levels and ranked. I guess they have event rewards every once in a while or a new playlist, but those are pretty sparse right now. This same situation has happened at least once or twice in the past months, and I'm sure some players got bored of the game and went elsewhere. All we needed was some sort of explanation of why the season was delayed beforehand, so that way we aren't kept in the dark. Or possibly just raise the season calendar before it drops, that way you have more time in the season. The lack of communication for things like this just caused distrust over time, and that's not the energy you want for your player base. It's kind of like when your wife takes a trip to the Dominican Republic for the weekend and doesn't answer her phone at all during the trip. Then eventually actor Sergio Carlo picks up the phone, then you're like, hey, where's my wife? Then he's like, no speak English, then hangs up the phone. Like, what do you mean you don't speak English? I watched an interview with you speaking perfect English like a month ago. But that's neither here nor there. That's more of a court thing right now. There's also no word on any permanent game modes, such as Hutball or Escort coming back to the game. I get that these studios need to drip feed content to us for something to look forward to, but that's where roadmaps and teaser trailers would keep us intrigued in the meantime. They should try to add as many game modes as possible, because players love variety and will keep coming back to your game and playing more often if that's the case. At least throw it in rotation of Hutball as a limited time event. I'm sure there will be a surge of players when that happens, because this game right now is pretty much make or break. If the PC version releases and the player count is insignificant, that could spell trouble for the lifespan of this game. And that's the last thing I want to happen, especially seeing the potential this game has on every platform. I hope we could get an Xbox and PlayStation version very soon after the PC, and that looks to be the case. But that's all we can really do right now, All we've been given in response is crickets for the most part. Well, maybe not even that, because crickets actually make noise. Maybe like a gopher or something. I don't know why I said gopher. I've never even seen one. Maybe because they're so quiet. And we're back in. The point is that we are fed up with the lack of updates on the new updates. We need something to talk about and get excited for the upcoming content. Whether the product is completed or not, at least give us something. Even if it's a picture of a silhouette from a new hunter, or maybe Gordon Ramsay saying, "Hey guys, we're cooking up something delicious over here, so stay tuned." That's probably not how he talks at all, but I hope you get what I mean. I'm not a petty person by all means. I actually consider myself humble, like very humble. Like Superman types of humble. If me and Superman were to ever hang out, he'd be so impressed at how humble and chill I was. I put off making a video like this for a while, because I can look over some of this stuff. But what's irked me the most is the PC release being delayed for what seems to be months at this point with no update as of now. That's just crossing the line, man. South Korea entering North Korea type of line crossing right there. The PC test that we played back in December felt like a surreal experience compared to playing the mobile version for so long. I never encountered any major bugs or problems with the game. Every match felt smooth and the graphics were phenomenal. The frame rate being able to go up to 300 frames is outstanding. I enjoyed every minute finally being able to play the game on PC and also watching everyone else enjoy their time as well. The fact that they delayed the release for months because of features that weren't necessarily urgent is upsetting to me. I guess they want this release to be as big and grand with no issues whatsoever, which I can understand to an extent. But the game already felt like it was in a near perfect state already. The only response we've gotten to the PC release so far is that they have no news to share with us at the moment about the release date. The second playtest was canceled for some odd reason, even though the exact point of the test is to bring to light bugs and improvements. I was very disappointed along with many others when we found out the actual morning of the supposed playtest that it was canceled. All I can hope for is that the PC release date is intended for this next season because of the season delay. But if that's not the case, then you'd think they'd let us know their plan in advance. When fans are left in the dark to wonder, that's when they start to lose hope and venture off to different games in the meantime. I can give hunters the benefit of the doubt that each new season launch has been well received each time. I can't remember a time when I wasn't excited to update my game for the new season. But that feeling can only last for so long, and during the mid-season we are left dry in the cold. The last sort of issue I want to touch on in this video is the lack of marketing for the game itself. At least from what I've seen for the game. The reason I started playing Hunters during the global release was through an advertisement. Before that, however, me and many others remember seeing a teaser trailer for the game some years ago and thinking to myself, this game looks geared more towards children. But I would give it a chance if the gameplay was on point. Jumping back to last year, I was getting bored of playing Battlefront 2 all the time and had been wanting to play a new Star Wars multiplayer game for so long, like countless others. Quick side note, but the fact that this is like the only Star Wars multiplayer game right now getting new updates is also absurd to me. But I digest. Maybe Star Wars is such a niche franchise nowadays that it doesn't warrant new games anymore. Anywho, this game deserves to house more Star Wars fans and arena shooter fans alike. There's no reason that a Star Wars IP should be getting less players than something like a Rivals or Fortnite. I get that if the game was in a terrible state, then that would make sense, but it's definitely not. The no private lobbies thing is actually really bad though. Like, how is that not a basic feature yet? Further marketing for this game is much needed to bring in more players from matchmaking instead of facing bots all the time or the same people. Whether it be trailers, gameplay showcases, collaborations, whatever the solution is, I'm sure there are ways to promote this game. Getting more teasers about the upcoming content for the game or changes would be much appreciated as well. Social media posts that invigorate interaction or hosting online tournaments is a step in the right direction as well. Members in the community have done a great job at that, but we should also have that same participation from Zynga as well. And please include at least some form of communication on season delays beforehand. It doesn't have to be a long essay like this video, but maybe some guy who works there being like, hey, we know you guys want this, but right now we're working on this. Transparency with your community is key for the success of the game as well. I don't like to compare games to other games, apples to oranges, myself to Dominican men, but a lot of other games, including very small dev teams, do a great job at keeping their fans updated. Even indie studios, such as Semi-Work, who came out with that popular new game called Repo, uploaded a YouTube video with one of the game devs discussing players wanting a matchmaking system implemented and that they're working on it. Short and sweet, nothing too out of the way for them. Most of the comments under the video are positive and in support to the team for the job that they're doing so far. If we had the same treatment from the Hunters team, then us consumers would feel a lot more appreciated for putting time and even money into their game. Let me know if there are any changes or feedback you would like to give to this game to see it succeed. We only want the best for the game, and I hope the team can put just a little more effort into this aspect of Hunters. Everything about the game has been great, and I still can't wait to see what they got coming next. Here is my last message to the game developers. Release the PC version soon or else. I swear to all that is good, I will find a local coffee shop you go to in the morning on the way to work, apply for a job there, use my background as a barista to get the job, and when I finally see one of you pull up in the drive-thru for a macchiato with 3 pumps, I will secretly squeeze out 4 pumps without your knowing. Do not test me. If you'd like to leave some feedback for the game as well, I believe there is a community tab in their Discord server for providing such feedback. I will provide a link in the description if you're interested in joining the official server if you're not already. Tell them that Creep Avenue sent you and that he wants to destroy your best part of the day. Let's be real, it all goes downhill after coffee time. Well, that's going to do it for today's video, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and watching until the end if you did. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. This is Avenue signing off.